has asked for almost $4 billion in emergency money to deal with this ever-rising number of unaccompanied minors that are coming across the border. What is it going to take to get you and other Republicans to approve that money?
There has to be a halt to this. That's what we want. And the best way to do that is for plane loads of these young people to be returning to the country of origin, and their families who have spent as much as a year's salary paying these coyotes, who are also in the business of $85 billion a year drug business, will not be able to get their money and send their kids north. As soon as they see their money is not effective in getting their kids to this country, then it will stop, and not before. And as tragic and as terrible as this situation is, we cannot have an unending flow of children from all over the world, much less Central America, into our country. So we have to repeal. Yeah, go ahead.
Go ahead. I was going to say, and I was going to talk about, you have a bill with Senator Flake, which would expedite the process that would return these children to their countries. I want to play you something that Senator Leahy said about returning these kids, and then ask you something on the other side of it.
Mm-hmm.
When you have a 8 or 9-year-old girl who's being raped by gangs that are sending them up here, or they're being sent by their parents to escape that kind of violence, I'm not sure Americans all really feel that we should immediately send them back.
So, Senator, essentially, when you say expedited process, a lot of folks who advocate for these children say that just means that no one's going to hear their case. Many of them are fleeing violence and perhaps death. So how can you expedite a process and somehow avoid the very real danger that some of these children face in their homelands?
Well, in all due respect to my colleague in the Senate and others, are they ignoring what's happening to these children on the way up? Are they ignoring the rapes, the death, the riding on the top of a train, and the deaths and injury?
But doesn't that tell you something about the situation in their home countries, that they would actually put themselves at that kind of risk?
It tells me about conditions all over the world, in Nigeria, in the Middle East today, and the horrible things that are taking place all over the world. And so the best thing to do is, if they have a case, we ought to beef up our consulate and our embassy and our capabilities. They come there and present their case, and if it's valid, then we'll bring them to the United States of America, not showing up at our borders. The trip up that they're taking, we should do everything in our power to prevent that. So the fact is that we cannot have an unending stream of children, whether it be from Central America or any place else, to come into our country with all of the strains and pressures that is put on our capabilities. It's not acceptable. Every nation has the requirement to secure its borders. Our borders are not secure, no matter what they say.
Well, many of these children